heavy here. Guards, 5 out guards right here for Seton Catholic. 6'1" senior, number 12, Lance Lee. And a 6'6" shooting guard, Caden Wilson, number 24, sophomore.
Both the starting lineups have been announced. We're ready for opening tip-off as we wrap up the Centralia College post-game or pregame show and go right into action. Quarter number 1 underway between Seton and Meridian. Whatcom County versus Clark County. As a corner 3 on the way, that will rim out. And corralling that is Caden Wilson, a vocal point of the Cougar system, both defensively and offensively. And crashing the rack, Brady Angelo. So the 5'10" senior guard getting on the board. Meridian will look to try and answer. They'll do so, getting it down low. And in tight, James Hedel. Hedel puts the Trojans on the board. And we're tied. Cycle out. Now Wilson for 3. And hits back iron. We talked about it in the pregame, Jeff. 3-point shooting, any shooting from distance, has plagued teams no matter the classification. Records aside, it's one of the great equalizers at state of playing in the neutral floor. Talon Jenkins runs into the defender, trying to stand him up that time was Lance Lee.
Lee's going to be called for the personal. It'll be his first team foul.
So Meridian will have the inbound with Jagger Fife just on the outside of the Cougs bench. And they tried to flip it quickly, hits off a defender, and pops up right into the hands of Rico George. Brady Angelo now to Wilson. George pulls up 3-ball, rattles out. Talon Jenkins will pull down the rebound. And knocking it down from distance that time. Fife, the 6'3" guard with the trip. The flip inside. And no one stepped to Rico George, but he misses off the rim. And a blocking foul in transition will be called.
Foul will be called on Mason Glassmeyer, be his second team foul.
We'll see the inbound just outside of our broadcast location. Quick 3 thrown up by Fife. Meridian will maintain. And they'll curl it back out to the point. Kicked inside, Fife. Now Hedel. Baseline skip. Brzezowski. And a tray for him. Pierce Brzezowski, the sophomore guard. It's Meridian by 6 as Seton Catholic will look to answer. And they'll try and do so with a 3. That will rim out. Glassmeyer on the attempt. Tight pressure being applied. Brzezowski creating space, mid-range jumper. Four-point deficit. And weaving into the lane, that was Rico George. Lance Lee picking it up, and almost an immersive experience here in the media row as the ball came our way.
Tyler Tran into the ball game for Seton Catholic. He'll replace Mason Glassmeyer, gets his first rest.
And Seton will inbound quickly. Rico George on the ball. He'll gun it up. Here's Angelo. Now Wilson. Tran, 3-ball on the way. You got it. The 5'5" shooting guard puts it up. one of the few seniors on the Seton Catholic side. And that will be knocked out of play. Cougars ball. Just a second past the midway mark here in the opening frame between Seton Catholic and Meridian as Tran will work from the wing. Now inside is George Lee. And the Cougs content with just working it around the perimeter. Tried to get it into George. Tran, NBA range. And it will be George that rebounds it. Put back up Angelo. And the unfriendly clank. Pushing it is Fife. Into Hedal. And the credit card dunk inside. There's Seton trying to take the lead. Wilson's three ball clanks off. Both teams trying to adjust to the rims. Here's Fife against Wilson into contact and will be rewarded for a trip to the free throw line.
Foul's on number 24, Caden Wilson, to be his first, 13th foul. Jager Fife will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Jager Fife will step in, the 6'3" senior guard. Again, a pretty senior-heavy club for Meridian. Both teams with experience. And Meridian also doesn't have a freshman on their varsity roster. Seton Catholic with two themselves, Meyer and Jackson.
Big Doshan into the ball game for Seton Catholic.
And it'll be Wilson that secures. It's 12-7. As Seton Catholic will try and whittle down the Meridian advantage here in the first. Wilson wants to try and penetrate through the lane, gets his own rebound and the putback. Pressure being applied early. Brzezowski working against Tran. Tran, a speedy defender. Almost intercepted by Angelo. Jenkins. Brzezowski. Now Alexander. They'll try and work it down from the high post. And at the shot clock, Fife, and it counts. Or Alexander, rather, as time expires. Wilson. Now Angelo. George will rip it from the corner. Out to Tran. Skip pass, works inside, rising up. And Rico George misses. Brzezowski. And it's Jenkins off the rim. Jenkins gets it back. Thought about it again. The ball's bowled down the sideline and an over and back. Meridian thinking it might have been tipped.
Kenyon James back into the ball game, as well as Brock Haugen. 1:15 to go here, first period.
Here's Angelo. Over to George. Joshan. Angelo, the switch to Tran. Tran pulls up. And swooping in is Kenyon James. James will get it in the backcourt. And it's Fife letting one rip. Loose ball on the floor. Angelo is taken out right in front of the bench.
Foul will be against Trey Alexander, his first. 13th foul.
And the long cross-court inbound, Washington to Florida pass. George, Angelo, NBA three, no. Tran, now to George, they'll reset. But a 3-second differential between the game and the shot clock. Wilson spots up, and the tray. There's Jackson, or Alexander rather, up over to Fife. The far corner skip. Long ball on the way, heaved in by Jenkins. And the far rebound, out of bounds. Substitutions oncoming for Meridian.
Head all back into the ball game, as well as Matthew Blakenberg. And one more. Might even be two more.
A staggered substitution.
Brzezowski.
Here's Angelo. Up to Wilson. Angelo will get the feedback into traffic. As time expires, Angelo wanted contact. And we'll end with Meridian ahead by 2. Second quarter action when we come back after this.
Now at point at the good.
From the North Court here inside the Yakima Valley Sundome, Seton will start with it. As it's Glassmeyer. Now Deshan. In tight. And a travel against Seton. Meridian leading by 2 with a chance to extend their lead. And they'll get it quickly over half. Fife. A lot of contact inside for Jenkins.
No shot.
No shot. Foul called. And they'll give that to Wilson.
Second personal on Caden. First team foul.
Jenkins, his first shot up and out, listed at 6'7", a senior forward.
Lance Lee checks back into the ball game.
And Jenkins hits his second. It's a 3-point advantage for the Trojans. Into the high post. There's Tran. Now Lee on the ball. Angelo pulls up another 3 from distance. Wanted to get that one to go from Highway 12.
Rico George returns.
Angelo on the inbound, and they'll throw it back into their own court. And we'll look to advance. George working against James. Lee, corner 3, too long. Here's Fife. Wants to try and take on Angelo. The switch, and there for the loose ball. Hedall averts a turnover. Right place, right time. It's Meridian by 5. Angelo. Now George. The skip into Doshin. Fife. Hobbling along, ends up going to floor. And it's a shot off the glass. They'll blow the whistle here. And it's Jenkins that picks it up. Wilson will return back in for the Cougars, and it will be Angelo on the throw-in for Seton. They'll have to go the length of the court here as they trail by 7. There's Rico George settling into the offensive backcourt. Angelo. The flip to Wilson. Wilson off the bench, lets that one long. Brzezowski. Their turnaround for Jenkins.
Jenkins has 6, all in the quarter. Lead up to 10, 5:54 to go.
Wilson. Now George, they wanted to try and thread it into Lee along the high post. And it'll be another turnover. Meridian looking to build this lead. Jenkins, and that's too hard. Rico George looking to run. Up over to Glassmeyer, and they'll cycle it back. George, the pull-up three, yes! Quick outlet pass out to Alexander. They'll switch sides of the court. Jenkins. And another foul called.
Foul's on Brady Angelo. It'll be his first, second team foul. Turning into the lineup, Roberto Valdez.
Roberto Valdez, a 6'6" power forward, just a junior. As we have a reset, and we'll have a mulligan on the inbound from the baseline. Jenkins. And his hook is short. Rebounded though. Hedal with the putback.
Hedal now with 8.
Here's George now. He'll trot it up. Out to Wilson. George. Glassmeyer had a look. This time George will sail it through distance. Wilson with the offensive board. Muscles it through and gets the basket and draws the foul. He'll go to the line for a chance at 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Foul number 30, James Hedal.
Hedal with the foul, his first team foul. 4:29 to go here in the half.
And Wilson will come up short on the three-point play. A dose nonetheless. Up to Alexander. They'll switch. Jenkins. Alan Jenkins turned away. Here's George. And he runs into the defender. That's Kenyon James with the physical pressure. And he'll pick up the foul. So both teams at 2 team fouls each here, Jeff. 4:03 remaining.
Angelo back into the ball game.
And quickly to Angelo. He'll work against James. Fancy footwork, the kick to George. Angelo thought about it from baseline, curls it back. Poked ahead by James. Alexander, and he's picked. Rico George on the theft. Here's Wilson the other way, traffic. Almost popped it back up on the volleyball set. And there's a scrum in the key. And it will be a held ball. Possession favoring the Trojans. And it will be Trey Alexander that will march it up. Alexander marks up and a bank deposit.
Alexander now with 5. The lead is 10.
Wilson. George. Seaton will try and answer. George wants to drive, takes on Hedal, and the putbacks there by Wilson. Great anticipation and tight. Jenkins. Alexander. The switch over. Brzezowski. No problem.
He's got 8.
Starting to heat up are the Trojans as they look to push this lead. Seaton needs to counter. Wilson out to George. Steps closer to the line, heels out. It's Angelo flying in. And they'll have a fresh 30 on this possession. Into Wilson, baseline cut, ball fake, and he had his pocket picked. Brzezowski. And a foul in transition applied by George.
First personal on Rico, third team foul. 2:07 to go in the half. Fife back into the ball game. Brock Hogan in. And Blankenberg.
A mass rotation, getting some of their players some rest here with 2:07 to go. And we're ready for the baseline inbound. Brzezowski. Jenkins. And a foul will be called.
Foul away from the shot, so it'll be Meridian ball. It's going to go against Wilson, be his third.
Wilson already into some foul trouble in the first half, as he'll be subbed out.
Bendoshan comes back in for him. 2:02 to go.
Thrown into the corner, pulling up for three, knocking it down is Blankenberg, fresh off the bench and into the scorebook. Angelo. Here's Angelo. Now George. George. With 7 seconds left, George hucking up a three. And it will knock off. Brzezowski. Fife. And then knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougs as Tran returns. The zip. Five stepping back. And Brzezowski, he's denied. Glassmeyer got a swat in. And they'll recollect up top. 1:02 remaining in the opening half. Meridian looking to build on their lead. Brzezowski will try and do just that. And the unfriendly roll. Meridian with another offensive rebound. And it's Glassmeyer. He comes up with the steal. Races down the floor. Glassmeyer. He's hacked on the way to the rack.
Brzezowski will be called for the foul. It'll be his first. Third team foul.
A pair of subs coming in for the Trojans, as Glassmeyer will look for his first free throw on this attempt. And that will be short. You start to see this here on Fridays, Jeff, is where free throws will end up short, some heavy legs.
Yeah, just got to make sure you finish high on your toes. Hedal Alexander come back in.
Glassmeyer and an 0 for 2 trip. Angelo will track down the ball. 38 seconds remaining. There's Tran for three, and that's too tall off the table.
Stolen.
Doshin underneath. Heads up play to chip away at the deficit. Shot clock is off. Meridian will play for the last shot. Trap coming. Alexander gets it ahead, turns it over. Angelo, the outlet to George. And George is fouled with 7.3 remaining. He'll have a trip to the charity stripe.
Foul's going to be on Jager Fife. It'll be his first. Fourth team foul.
Both teams have reached the fourth team foul mark. Can they reset after each quarter as George knocks down his first?
Jenkins back into the ball game with 7.3 seconds. Rico can cut the lead to 10. He does.
And will do so. 5 seconds remaining. Meridian trying to work quickly. We have some last-minute theatrics, and we will have just that a la 3-ball as time expires. What a way to end the first half for Meridian. It's a 26-23 lead for the Trojans, and we're going to step away and be right back with our John L. Scott halftime show.
Look at where our team.
The Cougars of brought to you by the Giza Credit Union, and it is proudly playing on the NFHS network, powered by Eli Sports. We're just a few moments away from the start of the second half, but if you're Seton, what needs to happen here, Jeff?
Well, if you think about it, you're trying to make this in quadrants, right? So those first 3 minutes are important, and by the end of the third quarter, you just want to cut the lead in half.
And we'll be ready to see how the adjustments unfold after the halftime break, as it will be Seton Catholic that starts out with the ball. They'll fly it ahead. Wilson flying into the lane, gets the bucket and the foul. He'll go to the line for one. He had a chance at a three-point play in the first half, missed the free throw. This time, another chance at the three-point play the old-fashioned way, and that will rim out. Announcers jinx here, 2 for 2. Borowski. And it'll be Wilson snagging it. George wants to try and cut into the lane. Instead, the kick to Angelo. And that knocks out. And it will be Meridian ball. There's Jenkins. Brzezowski. And in all alone, Brzezowski. A lot of times, the guy that just passed the ball is the most open. And flashed it there. Angelo. Out to Wilson. And Wilson with the offensive for his fourth.
And that's going to be huge for Seton Catholic.
Immediately looking at the bench in disappointment.
And they're going to leave him.
There's Jenkins looking to cause damage off the offensive foul, and will do so. Meridian building on their lead. Lee will try and answer.
Found the baseline.
And he was cut off, tiptoeing down the line.
That was on James Hedall, his second team foul.
Hedall, one of 2 Meridian players in second foul territory. James also has 2. Jenkins wants to take on Wilson. And the fancy juke to the rack. Wilson off the inbound. Wilson is locked up. And it'll be a baseline inbound. And a foul is called.
Foul will be called on Jager 5. Second personal. 13 foul. Alexander back into the ball game for Meridian.
And they'll get it into the backcourt. Glassmeyer. Now George. George, the runner, looking good.
George now with 7.
Here's Jenkins. Brzezowski. Knocked forward, tipped, no over and back. Meridian will try and score off the possession.
Nice pass.
3 seconds left, and you called it a dime on the baseline. And the bench is hot for Seton Catholic.
Trey Alexander with the foul. It's his second.
And there's still a lively discussion between the official and the bench personnel. Meridian calling for a technical foul, and it'll be a verbal warning. Cooler heads will prevail there, Jeff. As Wilson look to try and change momentum, he's locked up. And
Foul again on Trey Alexander. It'll be his third, 4th team foul.
Back-to-back fouls for Trey. And he'll check out.
Kenyon James back into the ballgame. And a 30-second timeout called by Meridian with 5:15 to go. We'll pause, take a quick break, be right back.
Spin Tees Screen Print and Graphics in Olympia gives you the very best printing and embroidery, perfect for teams, schools, companies, or special events. Get excellent quality, custom designs, quick turnaround, and low pricing. Count on Spin Tees for quality brands like Port Authority, Sport Tech, and District Threads. For easy ordering and results you'll love, go to spinteeprints.com or check them out on Facebook.
And we are back after the quick timeout taken by Meridian. Alexander picking up 2 quick fouls. And Caden Wilson will find his way to the free throw line again. Wilson with 11 points to lead the Cougs. And the first one rattles out. And Wilson knocks down his second. Up ahead to James. They'll get it to Hedall in through traffic, and he's turned away. Jenkins. Hedall, baseline heave. And Wilson crashing the boards. Lee jump stopping into the lane, rolling out. And the knocked ball will go right into Fife's hands. Brzezowski weaving in transition. Baseline drive, tried to get it into Fife.
Don't get it off his shoe.
And a heads-up play to bat it off the Trojans. It will be Seton Catholic ball, the inbound right in front of the Troy bench. George will command things from the point guard position. Out to Wilson. Angelo, long three, and that swirls up and out. Hedall out to Fife. Fife now, look out, and he collides with Wilson.
Foul's on Mason Glassmeyer, second personal, second team foul. Third team foul, excuse me.
Fife to the line. They'll be Seton's third team, as the Trojans already at 5 team fouls themselves.
Alexander back into the ball game, along with Tran.
And Fife, a nice performance from the line. George on the ball, and we'll get it out to Wilson as they work it around up top. Inside to Lee. Lee, the jump stop and shot into the lane is good. And an open field hit there. Lee taking on the ball carrier in transition. Looked like a kickoff return.
Second personal on Lee, 4th-team foul.
Lee's trying to argue that the contact was initiated by the ball handler. Here's Alexander. Fife. And that's Fife with the deep three.
Their 8th triple. The lead is
Meridian,
19.
19 points. Lee. Skip past to Tran. George, the floater. Fife's three off the mark, pulled down by Angelo. Some resurgence being shown by the Cougars of Seton Catholic. Here's George, now Angelo. George stepping back off the pivot, and that knocks off the window. And Wilson with the steal, has numbers. It's a 3-on-1 advantage. Wilson to the hole, and a foul's called. Wilson is down, however, after the collision underneath the cylinder. And he will get up there and will head to the line.
Going to be the 4th personal on Trey Alexander.
Foul number 20, Trey Alexander, his 3rd.
Oh, they must have took one away when we went at the reset.
And Wilson's first shot up and out.
Rusky into the ball game, as well as Blackenberg and Hogan.
Here's Brzezowski, all the way through the Meridian.
And Wilson for his second free throw. And back-to-back trips, he knocks down the second shot on both occasions. In tight with the ball, firing off is Blackenberg. And nearly saved. Good hustle by Wilson as he's left the playing surface. Comes back in. Great hustle by the Cougars. And it will be a Meridian inbound. They'll get it in from the corner. Up to Jenkins. Working against Wilson. Jenkins knew Wilson was sitting on a foul count and able to look around him. And it's George that elevates and the bucket.
Chance for the and one. Foul's going to be on Jenkins, his first.
Got the basket for Rico George. Tyler Jenkins starts with this second personal. George will be at the line to shoot one.
They'll be pulled down. Angelo on the rebound. Here's Lee. And that will be taken away. Fife up against Wilson. He's turned away. Wilson with the big swat. Lee at the other end. And Lee's ran in too. And that will draw a foul. Substitution oncoming as Glassmeyer gets ready to check in.
Brzezowski called with that one, his second.
And there's Lee's miss. The Meridian crowd quite vocal behind us. Lee. And he's short. An 0-2 for 2 performance for Lee. Free throws becoming so big here at the state tournament. Seen several games where they've had a major impact. And there's a timeout called on the floor. It will be a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here, and why we do, we'll tell you about subscribing to the NFHS network. We appreciate all the subscribers and appreciate your support, and be sure to tell your family and friends who can't get to the games and events but want to watch to go to EliSportsNetwork.com. There you can click on the Watch Live link and get signed up for a subscription. It's just $12 a month, and you can cancel anytime. It's a great option for high school sports fans, especially tournament time. 3 different crews spread across the state of Washington at all 3 championship sites. You can watch games on demand. And it's a great national platform. Wilson, he'll poke it forward, and walking the line, they'll say he's out. Jenkins. Jenkins, mid-range. Angelo. Big possession here for Seton Catholic. Here's George. Angelo wants to drive inside the high, kiss off the glass and out. And it will stay Seton ball. If you're the Seton coach here, Jeff, what do you try and draw up?
Well, they're going to 1-4 stack here, so there's a chance the player that's going to get 2 shooters a look here. They'll go back to, now he'll do it back. Now the shooter come off the screen. There it was.
Good call as Tran lets one soar and off the rim. Brzezowski. Tran stumbling. George against 5 tiptoes inside, and that will swirl out, and that's how we will end the 3rd period of play. We're going to step away for a brief break and rejoin you for quarter number 4.
So for the parents that are interested in learning about Core Plus and what it can do for their children, just know that it's one of the bigger opportunities that you can get in high school. It is such an opportunity. Find the neighboring schools that have it. There's an opportunity there to not just learn skills, but a career path.
Are you interested in continuing your athletic career? If so, Centralia College could be the place for you. Our programs here are designed to inspire and help kids evolve and grow individually, both on and off the field. If all of that sounds great, come join us here at Centralia College.
Back as we are heading into the 4th and final quarter. Jeff, what kind of adjustments would you make here if you're the Seton coaching staff and then the Meridian staff?
Well, Seton, I'd be back in a zone and try and get them to quit getting so much in attacking at the basket with Jenkins. It also gives you a chance to protect Wilson. Clearly you need him on the floor for scoring, but you need to protect him defensively.
Yeah, picked up 3 quick fouls and has kind of been inoperative on defense. Can't risk the 5th foul. He's riding 4 as Jenkins rips one. Loose ball. And that will be sent into the area. Collision into the table. And everyone seems to be okay. We'll check the monitor. And we are good. Nice job by our production crew here courtside. Heads up play. I'd like to thank all of our student producers. They've done such a great job here all state tournament long from Toppenish and West Valley. And that attack will be turned the other way. Meridian looking for offense. Out to Jenkins. And George will pick up the foul. Tried to knock the ball away from James.
Second personal, first team foul.
And it will be Lee that comes up with the steal. And Lee's fouled as he crosses the court. Looks like James got a hand in. Third foul for James. George. Now Lee. And Seton Catholic still maintains possession. They tried to dump it into Wilson, and it's out of bounds. The officials are going to say last touch by Meridian. It will stay Cougars ball. High feed into Angelo. And he'll spot up. 3-ball on the way. Knocks out. Hedall on it. And it will be last touch by the Cougars. And Trojans ball. Quickly into Jenkins. And now Meridian will look to extend their lead. Up to Fife. Poked away. Loose ball on the floor.
That's going to be his fifth.
And that's Wilson's fifth and final foul as he pleads his case. Being told to clear out by the official. And Wilson's day will be done. His fifth foul, 13 points for Caden. And it's a tough break for Seton Catholic. As Doshin checks back in. And that will be knocked out of bounds over the Trojans bench. And it will stay possession of Meridian. And an off-ball foul. That's Glassmeyer with the foul.
His third. Second team foul.
They'll get it into the corner to Jenkins to switch out Brzezowski. Now Jenkins steps in deep two. No problem for number one.
He now has 16.
Making a case for our Thorbeck's MVP. George at the rim, the foul and the bucket.
Good job by George. Fouls on Hedel for his third, second team foul. Alexander back into the ball game.
And George, his three-point play attempt thwarted. Ball knocked around, picked up off the ground. Brzezowski gets it ahead to Fife. The feed inside. Hedall turned away, and back-to-back blocks down low for Seton Catholic. Angelo Back over Glassmeyer, too strong. Rebound by Fife. They look to run. Alexander has the defender fly by and ditches it off to Brzezowski. George, a long three. Hits that one from Nob Hill.
He's got 18.
Brzezowski. Inside, Alexander trying to find Fife. He'll wrestle away. The ball knocked loose. And it will stay Trojans ball.
Tyler Tran back into the ball game, and we're going to have a full timeout called by Meridian.
Full timeout on the floor. We're going to step away. Be right back with more basketball after this.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Spin Tees Screen Print and Graphics in Olympia gives you the very best printing and embroidery, perfect for teams, schools, companies, or special events. Get excellent quality, custom designs, quick turnaround, and low pricing. Count on Spin Tees for quality brands like Port Authority, Sport Tech, and District Threads. For easy ordering and results you'll love, go to spinteeprints.com or check them out on Facebook.
And welcome back inside the Yakima Valley Sundome. Merrick Purnell alongside my broadcast partner, Jeff Weeks. And it's been all Meridian most of the game here as they lead by 17.
Yeah, I think that second quarter they exploded with the threes, 5 threes, and since then they've just continued.
It's been quite the performance and a pretty evenly distributed performance as well. Every player knows and has played a good role for the Trojans. Jenkins being one of them. Another tough make. 18 points. Tran at the other end. Fife rips it home, and he'll be fouled.
Ben Dushan charged with that foul. Will be his first. 4th team foul. Mason Glassmeyer back into the ball game.
Well, Seton Hall, too, Jeff, already at 4 fouls with 4:19 remaining. Brzezowski out to Jenkins. Now into Fife. And the feed inside to Hedal. The 6'6" forward, a senior, getting 2 on the board. And Tran with the trade the other way. Tran, a senior as well for Seton Catholic. Hedal gives it up. James. And it's Tran that takes him on. And there'll be a foul underneath.
Foul be on James Hedal. This will be his 4th.
Hedal in some foul trouble.
3rd team foul.
It'll be the 3rd for Meridian. Angelo. And his 3 off the mark. And that'll be shielded by 5. Good pursuit by Glassmeyer. And he ends up all the way back towards the locker rooms. Good hustle. Fife. Up to Jenkins. They'll float it ahead to James, but that's deflected. Angelo wasting no time. Glassmeyer, a long 3. And hits the glass and the rim simultaneously and out. Almost a wedgie. Hedal, his dribble knocked away. It will stay Meridian ball. And an off-ball foul will be called. They'll give it to George.
Number 12, Lance Lee. That is his third.
Oh, they'll give it to Lee. My correction.
His third 15 foul. Jenkins to the line, shoot a pair.
Jenkins looking to add to his 18-point total. And the first shot spins out.
Hits the second.
Up to Tran. Tran for three. And off iron. Fife. Up to Jenkins. Into James. Now Jenkins. Works along the baseline. Brzezowski
Nice
slicing into open space off the glass and in.
move. He's got 14.
George comes up empty on that three ball. And Meridian with another possession. Jenkins in tight, bobbing and weaving on the way to the cylinder. Angelo gets that one to go. Full timeout on the floor after the Angelo three. We're going to step away and we'll be right back.
I want to be smarter with my spending now.
And that's what we're here for.
Find a healthier approach to money at Gisa.
For the Seton Catholic Meridian matchup. As right now Meridian trying to burn as much time off the clock as they lead by 20. Brzezowski out to Jenkins. 90 seconds left. Lee slings it ahead to George, and look out! The slam in transition. Out to Alexander. They'll sling it back into the high post. Now Hogan. Brzezowski in the corner. Triple team coming. And a foul will be called. Tran tied him up.
Foul will be on Tyler Tran. His first.
Brzezowski. And knocks down his first.
Daniel Larson into the ball game, as well as Gabe Galbraith. Damian Hayes.
And Brzezowski sitting at 15 points. And we'll make it 16.
Josiah Harris. 53.4 seconds left.
As Angelo will march it up. Out to George. Angelo pulls up three ball off the heel. And George will resettle. Out to Angelo. Over the double team. And rebound pulled in by Hayes. Meridian content to just drain the clock. Galbraith on it. Still a differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And they'll let it run out with 3.8 remaining, letting the shot clock tick all the way down. 3.8 remaining. Glassmeyer, the heave, and that will do it. Meridian taking down Seton Catholic 68-48. We're going to step away and be right back with our Alderson's West Awards and Printwares postgame show.